Hi, I'm Sarah Pettick, owner of Bike the Gap. We plan self-guided bike trips on the Great Allegheny Passage and C&O Canal Towpath between Pittsburgh, PA and Washington, D.C. We've helped hundreds of riders discover their adventures on the Gap. So we've been talking about what is the best bike for the trail, and we've talked about tire size and we've talked about bike frames. The last piece we're going to talk about are your contact points. These are your hands, your feet, and your seat. So first we're going to talk about your hands. The handlebars are usually determined by the type of bike you have. This hybrid, and most hybrids are going to have a flat upright handlebar. This bike also has ergonomic grips. I love these. These help to alleviate some of the pressure on your hands and your wrists. These are great for multi-day bike trips. A touring style bike is likely to have drop bars with hoods. This allows for multiple hand positions. Again, that's great for a multi-day bike trip. Something else you could do is add some extra padding under your bar tape for some comfort, and you can wear padded gloves, again, to relieve some of the stress on your hands and your wrists. Your next point of contact are your feet. So your pedals are important. The hybrid bike here comes with a wide platform pedal. You can wear almost any kind of shoe with this pedal. We do recommend a shoe with a stiff sole to ride in. You can easily get on and off of this platform pedal, so this is a great thing for touring. This bike actually has a clipless pedal on it. To use this pedal, you have to have a special shoe with a cleat on it. Some bikes and some riders just prefer to have be clipped in all the time and to have clipless pedals. This is really a personal preference. You don't need it for the trail. You don't need to be clipped in, but if you like to ride that way, you'll be fine. So the pedal type is actually really more your personal preference. Either is going to be fine for the trail. Your last point of contact is your seat. So your saddle. This hybrid bike has a pretty big saddle. It's still pretty firm. It will support your weight. You also want to look at the stitching. Ideally, you don't want to have a lot of raised stitching like this one has for a multi-day trip. It can lead to a lot of chafing after you've been riding for day after day. This seat has a much narrower saddle. It's very firm to support your weight. It has a cutout on top, and you can see that it has a lot less stitching, so probably a lot less chafing. Your saddle is going to be a really important factor for your comfort on a multi-day trip, and I really recommend that you try a lot of different saddles. What you want to find is something that's going to be firm enough to support your weight. It's going to have very few stitches and to prevent chafing, and it's also going to feel comfortable to you. You really need to try a lot of saddles and just find what works for you. You're really the only one that can decide that, so try them out, find out what works, and of course, don't forget your padded shorts. So when we look at tire size, bike frames, and your contact points, we've talked about a lot of different factors that you can change. Find out what works best for you. Ultimately, the bike you love and the bike you feel comfortable on is the one that you should ride. So when you're ready to learn more about self-guided trips on the Great Allegheny Passage and C&O Canal Towpath, take a look at our website, bike-the-gap.com. There you'll find details on our self-guided bike trips, answers to frequently asked questions, and photos and videos. Thanks for watching today, and we'll look for you on the trail.